Hey guys, this is Freedom from Negative Feelings Once and for All Part Two, and I might even have to do a Part Three. It's so good. The more I was going through this, is Chapter Seven of Rhonda Byrne's The Greatest Secret, and she talks about the welcoming process. Obviously, and then we'll talk about the super practice here in a minute. But I think I am going to have to just make these into smaller segments, just so they're more digestible. She says, when you welcoming anything, when you're aware of any feeling, if it doesn't feel good, it's typically because we're saying, no, we don't like this. And welcoming is just, instead of judging even ourselves, like, why do I keep doing this? Or what I don't like this, is just go, that's not the true nature of me. The true nature of me is always perfect, no matter what I've done or haven't done, how I feel or don't feel. It's the unlimited love and unconditional presence of God. So it's really just becoming aware of, as she talks about, am I that negative feeling? Or am I the presence of God that even has the ability to realize, come to a revelation that I'm the one that's having the negative feeling? I'm not the feeling itself. And so that's welcoming. It's like, oh, I'm just going to relax a minute, not push up against that feeling and tense up and go, I don't like this and fight it. Just go, I'm going to welcome this feeling, man. It's okay for it to be here. I love you feeling. It's okay. In fact, I bless it. It'll dissolve. And it says, every released negative feeling, your body will become lighter, your life more effortless, and you'll find your happiness expanding. And then she says, what hurts you blesses you. And so every negative thing, guys, every negative experience this is a difficult one to get, but it really is true. And I can't say I've gotten there completely in my life, but I'm certainly on the journey, is to recognize, hey, wait a minute. Every negative situation in my life is there for me to let go of one more wrong belief so I can experience the fullness of God. Every time this situation comes, why is it there? It's there because I'm believing something wrong about myself. And it's an opportunity to release whatever is there, to completely free myself from that negative feeling, and the situation must dissolve itself ultimately every anyway. So she says that's what every uncomfortable feeling is for. It's what pain is for. It's what money is for, whether good or bad. It's what everything in the world is for your self-realization. It's for your benefit to realize your oneness with God and to come closer and closer to the effortless love, joy, and happiness of God itself. And so she says, use every negative emotion that appears as an opportunity to permanently free yourself from that negative emotion. As my teacher said, a negative emotion only arises when you're ready to be free from it. Welcome the emotion without trying to change it or get rid of it. You're the infinite being, you're the presence of God. Anything that's negative in the presence of God, which is if you allow it to be unconditional loving, I'm gonna unconditionally love this thing. That's the presence of God. That's your true nature in all of us, regardless of our behavior. That truth about the Spirit of God and how amazing and awesome you are is always true about you and every human being. You are the Spirit of God, the infinite being, the unlimited love of God. That's your very nature. Welcome every negative feeling until you're free from them forever. That's pretty cool. So, this is a part that I just want to spend a little time, and then I think I'll do the super practice as a separate. We'll see how much time we're taking here. This is a tough one because of a mistranslation for most Christians of good versus evil, right, wrong. I must come against this, which is what we've most of us been taught from this age, guys. And so I've shared over and over and over again. There's no original sin in the original Greek and Hebrew hieroglyphics, guys. It was all about the magnificence of man. There's no, if Eve was deceived by the serpent, which now we call Satan, the devil, none of those things are in the original. It's all about this loving completion of intimacy of the two covenants. I promise, the entire book. But anyway, most Christians have been taught good versus evil, and Eve ate from that tree, and now there's evil, and she was deceived, and eventually good's going to conquer bad. So we must be on God's side and fight the good fight, and all those different things are mistranslations. So we do the wrong thing about things that we really care about. So let me just read this. If you're truly interested in making a difference, which I think most people are, because if there's not, if there's situations that are people going through that you can tell they're not feeling good about it, they're kind of experiencing agony or anything other than unconditional love, the best way to do it is the exact opposite of what most people do. So let me read this to you. How do you welcome feelings about subjects that you have a strong opinion about or strong stance against? I am for this. I'm standing with this and against this country. So a lot of that last few years. Um, or cruelty to animals. We've shared a lot of this on fellowships, and this is tricky because the I there's always some Christian thing that is the latest thing, and right now it's sex trafficking, and they're bringing awareness to it. Even people I love, and I'm like, oh, they're doing what they think is right in their heart, but it's actually not helping. So if you're truly true about helping, do I want little kids to be sex trafficked? Of course not. So am I saying unconditional love is we should just allow them to go do whatever? No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is when we get energized by this is evil, I must come against that, we actually add to the problem because we're the divine creators. So when we have a negative motion and bringing this awareness to something, the mind only creates, guys. It doesn't know no or not, which is why I've shared a ton of those healing the book messages. It doesn't say no. It says thou shalt experience. So if I say, um, don't if I was God and I said thou shalt not think of a white coffee cup, your brain creates a white coffee cup. And the harder you try, I'm going to be a better Christian. I'm going to pray more, fast more, serve more, be in the choir, all these different things that we were taught. Like if you serve God, then he'll bless you. If you love people, you'll operate in unlimited blessing. That's really the real answer. So understand, I'm not telling you I'm accepting those things as good. I want more of them. I want to actually dissolve those things, and unconditional love is the only thing. Awareness is the only thing. Understand that the bad feelings you feel around that subject are causing you harm and are not helping what you care about. Welcome the sensations and feelings of that subject may evoke in you. Welcome your disapproval. So, meaning if you feel really strongly, she says cruelty to animals, but I think more important in Christianity right now is this sex trafficking. Do we really want to do something about it? Yeah, of course, of course. So it's this: welcome those sensations and feelings, those highly charged emotions you have about it. Where I've talked to a lot of people, this is so evil, this is so bad. Well, that it's getting you worked up. You're expressing that negative energy. It's not life-giving energy. So it's going to hold those situations in place. So the better thing would do is I allow myself, I'm realizing I'm getting worked up about this. This is the anger I feel. This is the rage I feel that somebody would do this to a person. Who could do this? Right? Is to really just go, wait a minute. Unconditional love is not saying that is good or bad. Unconditional love is unconditional. It loves no matter what. I'm going to allow myself to feel those negative feelings, that rage, that anxiousness, that anger. Just, I am the unconditional love of God. And I'm just going to allow those feelings that are in my body right now that I'm experiencing to just be present. It'll dissolve. And it says, welcoming your disapproval welcomes the feeling of unfairness and injustice. It keeps welcoming until there's no sensation or feeling left when you think of the subject. That's how you truly make a difference, guys. I just wrote some notes in here. It says, bringing awareness to something or coming against something actually increases the very thing you're against. And if you hold on to the emotions that you don't like a subject, you actually increase that subject. You might think that you don't want to stop feeling the pain about a subject, but that's the story the mind is telling you. It's the very opposite of what's true. And for most of you, it's not your fault. There's a mistranslation of scripture that we've created our whole legal system, everything about, our whole religion about, etc. Your strong resistance to a subject. I don't like this. I'm going to bring awareness to this. It could be anything, with Black Lives Matter, all the different race things, etc. I can't. Uh, you know what? What's interesting. I'm obviously not a black person. I have lots of black friends. A lot of you guys I love, you're on the freedom calls with me. When we let all that stuff go versus uh, where there horrible things done to different races, sexes, people, of course. And I would really love to not have them continue. So we don't bring awareness to it. What we really do is allow ourselves to go, wait a minute, I'm going to unconditionally love how I feel about this subject. And when you have unconditionally love, guys, you unconditionally love. It's really fascinating. That's the thing that will solve race, sex, religion, unconditional love, the true nature of who we are, will solve all the things so everybody can truly live and thrive in harmony. That's my goal. I fail at it all the time. So that's I'm just trying to share with you guys the best way that I know works. So it says your strong resistance to a subject adds a lot of energy and power to it, of course, because your mind and your heart are the unconditional, infinite power of God to create. Those when I have a thought and emotion with it, I create. Period. So when you release your negative feelings around it, you're releasing all the energy you have pent up about that subject. And you're actually disempowering the circumstances, whether it's sex trafficking, racial tensions, religious tensions, sexual. I'm for this, I'm against this. God created this in one way. No, God created everybody. When there's unconditional love and people feel really loved and whole, they don't do most of the things that an unloving person would ever do. It becomes very natural that they really live a pretty amazing, loving life. Without that a negative emotion, here's the cold cart. When we realize, like, why am I getting worked up about this? If I really want to make a difference, if I'm really upset about how this country is treating this a country, this tribe is doing this to this person, whatever it is, I think you're getting the point of what I'm trying to share here, at least hopefully, is how do I feel about this subject? Instead of saying, I don't like this, I hate this, I need to change this, I'm just going to be present with this feeling of it. I'm the infinite love of God. I'm aware I'm having this negative reaction about this situation. I'm just going to allow it to be there and just be present with it. You can even say, I'm going to let this feeling be there. I'm going to love this feeling in a minute. It dissolves. And here's what happens. When you release all those negative emotions simply by loving them, your love and compassion, which will naturally arise in the place of negative emotions, have atomic power. Every atom in the universe moves to fulfill your thoughts and your emotions when you don't have pent up stuff covering it. It has atomic power and makes a huge difference in the world. So hopefully that makes sense, guys.